Hi, everyone. Thanks for your interest in mechanical and aerospace engineering at UCF. I'm Jeff Kaufman, the Associate Chair of the department, and I'd like to highlight some of the accomplishments and interesting things about our department that you can look forward to when you come to UCF. So first off, we provide a great deal of talent to the local industry. So we're the #1 supplier of graduates to the aerospace and defense industries, and that's actually nationwide, not just here in Florida. We're also the #2 preferred supplier behind only Georgia Tech for all of aerospace and defense. And a lot of that's because of our great partnerships with so many organizations right here in Central Florida. Of course, the Space Coast is just about 30 miles away. And so we've got NASA and Northrop Grumman and all sorts of Blue Origin, all sorts of other companies over there. But there's also a lot right here in town. And so we'll have students who are taking classes in the morning and then in the afternoon going over to Lockheed Martin to work on their internship at Missiles and Fire Control. Or maybe they're going to just across the street to Siemens, where they're working on the next generation of power generation systems. So I'd like to play a short video on how UCF is making an impact on the local industry.
UCF is definitely setting the pace in the aerospace engineering field. We're definitely in an area concentrated heavily in the aerospace field. We're really lucky to be here in Orlando because all these different companies give us the ability to collaborate and to come up with really unique and exciting projects for the students that are practical and that are going on in the industry right now. So I get to play with fire. I am currently working in the combustion lab, so I get to do a lot of experimentation.
Here at UCF, I'm working on thermal barrier coatings, which are materials applied to turbine systems. When I first got to UCF, I saw the great opportunities, in particular with all the faculty here working on diverse projects in mechanical and aerospace engineering.
Takes all of our different interests and expertise to be able to do the research that we're interested in pursuing. So UCF is growing in a lot of different directions, and one of those is the biomedical engineering program, which gives students new opportunities here at UCF that they didn't have before. One of the most unique opportunities that our biomedical engineering students have here is to learn from our medical school, to be able to see parts and implants from a perspective that can't be offered in a textbook.
I actually thought I wanted to go into medicine, but I ended up at UCF and taking all the technical classes, and he ended up sort of pointing me towards engineering instead of the medical sciences.
UCF is America's leading partnership institution, and for mechanical and aerospace engineers, it means that they can come into our department and successfully participate in research and learning activities that will make them strongly competitive for positions at their company.
When I was making the decision to go to grad school, I couldn't really come up with a reason to leave UCF. I thought it was perfect here. It's a great campus, a great environment, and who doesn't like Orlando? So I stayed at UCF for all 3 degrees.
I've always been someone who wants to reach out and make the world better. And the program here at UCF made me aware of all the opportunities there are out there. And if I just further my education, the opportunities are endless, they're limitless.
I always wanted to use engineering for more than just inside the laboratory and to see that impact. My research professor always puts such an emphasis on giving back to the community and using what you learn in the classroom to actually help people.
When working with students, my goal is to have them to reach a level of achievement that they didn't think was possible for themselves.
I'm really passionate about a lot of things. I want to move forward combustion technology for the future to try to have us rely less on fossil fuels so we can leave the world better than when we got it.
What UCF really stressed in me was that we need to go out and find an area to make our impact. And so you're coming to UCF not just for the piece of paper at the end, which says that you can learn, you can do things well, but to leave your mark along the way.
So we have undergraduate degrees in aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering. We also have an undergraduate minor in biomedical engineering. And then those pathways flow right into our graduate degrees, also in mechanical, aerospace, or biomedical engineering for those who are interested in graduate study. What we offer at UCF is a fantastic preparation to enter the workforce. So you'll get hands-on research, hands-on experience in our labs. We have about 5 or 6 courses that are lab specific, and then we also have many project-based learning courses where you will take part in maybe a shorter 1 or 2 week project where you'll get to be hands-on and actually put into practice what you're learning in the classroom. And then many of our students also conduct research. And so sometimes these activities take place in dedicated teaching labs. And a lot of times students get opportunities to participate in really high level advanced research where they're seeing the absolute state of the art in terms of what faculty here have to offer. We also have our Office of Experiential Learning. And so many of our students participate in internships or co-ops. That's something that we view as really important and one of the key things about our location here in Central Florida, because our students can find internships locally. They can even do internships during the semester. So as I mentioned earlier, we'll have a number of students who are taking classes and working at the same time. And what we see is that not only do those skills, helping our students learn how to balance the various responsibilities of the coursework and their job, but also those connections that they establish working those internships really come back, and that's really the #1 predictor of postgraduate success for our students is that internship and co-op experience. We also have the Honors College, so students there can take honors courses. We have an Office of Prestigious Awards, which helps them go after larger national scholarships and fellowships and helps mentor them through that process. And then a lot of our students participate in the undergraduate thesis program, where they conduct a research project and then write up a thesis about that. And finally, we have senior design, and that's a 2-semester progression where our students work in teams of about 5 students. And so the first half of the year is sort of brainstorming, analysis, and figuring out on paper, will this work? And then the second half of the year is really about building it, characterizing it, testing it, implementing it, and actually getting hands-on with the finalized design. So of course, that's our capstone that a lot of students treat as sort of the pinnacle of their undergraduate education. So we'll hear a little bit more about how UCF is impacting the industry.
Thanks, Alex. And hey, everyone. Growing up right here in Orlando provided me a unique vantage point of being able to watch the space shuttle skyrocket into orbit from my own backyard. It was this early exposure to engineering brilliancy which fueled my passion for space exploration to this day. And it's something very few get to experience in their lifetime. UCF has not only propelled my opportunities to participate in space-related research and internships, but they've supported me in my astronomical pursuits along the way. My experience at UCF has provided me with both the direction and skills necessary to pursue the career I've always dreamed of, becoming an astronaut. During my time here, I've also co-authored a paper that proves how water evolves on the surface of the moon due to solar radiation. And my most recent project was interning at the Florida Space Institute, where I provided engineering support on spacecraft hardware for a sensor that launched on a real rocket. Through every part of my journey, UCF has helped me find the specific niche of space exploration that fits with my unique skill set. As an engineering student, you'll develop industry sought-out skills. This involves participating in projects like building and launching CubeSats into space, or even conducting research on a zero-gravity flight. The Senior Design Capstone Project is also a great way to take what you learned in the classroom and apply it to real-world problems for entities such as Boston Waller, Coca-Cola, Mitsubishi, the Orlando Utilities Commission, and Steelcase. There are even opportunities to participate in global programs, like working with the German Aerospace Center to conduct advanced research on the next generation propulsion capabilities for hypersonic suborbital vehicles and reusable space vehicles, which I'm currently participating in. Right now, I'm tailoring my resume to fit the needs of the NASA astronaut program. Understanding how I can contribute to the mission is the first step into becoming an expert on it. Here at UCF, the opportunities are boundless, and some might even say out of this world. That's all from me.
So I mentioned earlier, we have some graduate programs. We do have an accelerated track. It's essentially like a 4+1. And so what it allows students to do is take some of their graduate coursework and count it towards their undergraduate curriculum. And so by doing that, they, instead of needing to take an extra 2 years for grad school, they can sort of double count those courses and only need 1 extra year. So it saves both time, and because those courses get counted for both programs, saves tuition money as well. I already mentioned the Honors College and some of the advantages there. I guess maybe here, I just like to encourage students to get to know a faculty member, maybe 1 a year at least. So faculty are not so different than students. You know, we've been there. We've went through our engineering curriculum maybe a few decades ago. But one of the things that I'd like students to keep in mind is that as they graduate and move on, they're going to be looking for letters of recommendation or someone to serve as a reference as they're, you know, applying for a job or applying for an award or grad school or something like that. And so, you know, getting to know a faculty member or two along the way can be really beneficial. So I like to encourage students to contemplate that somewhere in their undergraduate education. Some of the students who have won some of those awards recently are Rishi, Sydney, and Bethany. I'll highlight Sydney here in the middle. She did an internship at Raytheon working on developing a new valve. And it was a really challenging project. Maybe a valve doesn't sound so exciting, but it was something that she was working on developing something that would go to higher frequencies and pass through more fluid than has been done previously. And so while she was there, she actually won an achievement award from Raytheon, and as a group submitted her work for a patent, and it's now in the final stages. Many of our students do work on research. Because we have a very strong and active research program among our faculty, students can use those opportunities to move beyond the textbook problems. You know, when you're in a class, all the answers are known, maybe not in the back of the book, but someone knows them. What's exciting about research is that now we're working on problems that are much more open-ended. You know, we don't know what the answer is going into it. And so it really stretches our ability to think, and that's really where we get a lot of learning done as well. We also have many student organizations in the department. The first two on the list here are sort of the general mechanical engineering and general aerospace engineering. But then we also have more specialized ones for automotive engineering, biomedical engineering, rocketry, satellites, and many more. Many of our students do stay in the local Central Florida area after graduation, but we do see students going throughout the US. Perhaps it's not surprising with such industry close by that many of our students are going to Lockheed Martin across town, or Siemens across the street, or over to the Space Coast. But we see students engaging in a variety of engineering activities, both while at UCF, and we see that leading into their job prospects and diving right into industry after they graduate. So I hope that you'll connect with us as well if you have questions about the program. We'd be happy to answer them. You can find us at mae.ucf.edu, and please feel free to contact us, and we'd be happy to give you more information about our programs. Thank you.